Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are live till 5. Bring my dog on real quick. My man with the plan, Coach Chenault, was good.
What's going on? Happy Saturday.
Man, happy Saturday to you, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. We live back at it again. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. It's 8:36. A little bit late, but never late is better. But as long as we here,
Better late than never.
better late than never, man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for everybody for tapping in tonight. Welcome to another episode of Gurus of the Game. I am your host, former college athlete, former pro baller, and current corporate thug. Take over, Russ.
And I'm coaching out, school teacher, uh, basketball teacher, and part of Guru of the Game. So that's who I am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My boy tapping on in. Thanks for everybody for checking us out tonight. If this is your first time tapping in, Gurus of the Game is a show that's dedicated to giving highlight and spotlight to those making a difference in the basketball world and the basketball community and those that have used basketball as their tool, man, on the road to success. Tonight we got a very, very, very special episode, one of the hottest ones that we've had yet. My dog, Coach Anthony Anderson, man, Coach SMU women's basketball. Great story. Can't wait to hear it. We got him coming up here real soon, man. Coach E, man, you saw that Colorado football, man. That's gonna be the topic, man. Every Saturday, man.
Man, I was so hurt, man. So
But
hurt.
tonight,
Yeah, I was upset that they didn't get the win tonight. I mean, this morning I was kind of I wanted them to have a good bounce back game. They still play well, but I don't do sympathy wins though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, that play calling towards the end got a little suspicious. They was running that ball a little bit too much. But the fact that they scored made that John even better, man. But yeah, I was hoping they pull that out, man. But you ain't beating SC, not this year at least.
Yeah, at least not right now. Maybe next year.
Yeah, they got them kids living off Compton and Figueroa and Washington and Figueroa and all that. Them boys ain't playing, man. They got the extra 5%, you know what I'm saying, on that line. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So no, that was a good look today, man. Definitely had a great Saturday, man. And so but without further ado, let's bring in my dog, my man, Coach Anthony Anderson, man.
Oh man. Hey man, I appreciate y'all having me. But just remember this, Dion said it best. You better get me while you can. Cause this is gonna be the worst I'm gonna ever be.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Man,
Facts, man. Let's give it up, Coach Anthony Anderson, man. Let's give it up, Coach, man. Let's give it up for him, man. Coach, hey, man, we appreciate you tapping in with us.
I appreciate being here. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, absolutely. We know you got a busy season coming up, busy preseason coming up. And so we definitely want to check in with SMU girls basketball, man, and see how y'all's doing, man. See how y'all plan on repping the city this year.
Well, let me get this out the way. Y'all are invited to whatever games y'all want to come to. Just let me know. We got practices, whatever you want to do. We open to you guys. We open to everybody, especially y'all. Y'all family. So, I mean, anytime y'all want to come through, y'all always welcome. The door's always open.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah,
ain't no secrets.
Yeah, because we will take you up on that.
I came to some games last year just to show some support. I like what they're doing over at SMU. They're trying to build it up, grow it up. I enjoy my time at the game too. So they compete hard, they playing hard. So I like the change that I'm seeing over there. So
I mean, we want to put on for the city. We are Dallas's team. I mean, everybody talks about being in the Metroplex or whatever, blah blah blah. I mean, it is what it is. But we are Dallas. I mean, we say it all the time. We like to promote it, being in the Triple D. I mean, the biggest thing is making sure you take care of home. And so that's why you guys are going to see me out at a lot more high school games this year. See me in the public a lot more this year because we want to let everybody know we're here and we want to be here to stay. I mean, this transition to the ACC is going to be huge for us. And I mean, it's all for nothing if we don't go get some kids. So we're targeting these top tier Dallas kids and we want to make sure we keep them all at home.
Yeah, that's big facts. We are super duper happy for you for being in your position at SMU. We know it wasn't easy, but before you got there, we kind of want to take it all the way back. What we like to do is take it all the way back to the beginning, man. Way back,
Uh-oh, the
way
way
back.
back.
You know what I'm saying? We really want to know, man. So how'd you get started with this game of basketball, man? Who really put the ball in your hand?
Actually, my pops is well, I say former Division One coach, but my pops is actually at Fort Lauderdale University, which is a NAI right now in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My middle brother is a head basketball coach at Atlantis University in Miami, Florida, and my baby brother is assistant coach with my brother. So, I mean, I've been in the game for a while. I've been around the game since before I can remember. My dad was hooping in college, and he would tie me up to the little stands, and I'd be running back and forth down the thing with my little walker. So I've been around the game my whole life, but I've just been blessed with the people that have been in my life, and that's how I got my start. I mean, I started off at a small NAI. I started off at Dillard, left there, went to Cedar Valley. So I did hoop out here to D3, JUCO out here in Dallas, Texas. And then from there, I graduated from FIU, where I got a chance to play for Isaiah Thomas, the Isaiah, not the little one. Everybody talks about I say Isaiah Thomas, they be like, the one that played for, no. We talking about Zeke. I got the chance to play for him for 2 years to finish it out.
Damn.
It's big time.
Oh, yeah, man. But my dad was his associate head coach, so I got a chance to play for Zeke and actually finalize everything and play for my pops as well.
So let's talk a little bit. Like you say you've been around the game all your life. What's one thing that you learned early about the game that you feel that separates you from everyone else, that gave you the edge or the curve?
This game is unforgiving. That it'll give you what you get out of it. And it
Facts.
ain't fair. She will cheat on you anytime she get.
Facts.
Everybody ain't blessed. I mean, I was 6'1" and super athletic, but my homeboy was 6'8" and he was bouncy. So I had to try to outwork him and outwork everybody else, and just got to put the time in. And if you cheat on her, she will cheat on you. So that's the one thing I learned early when I was calling myself going to hang out with my boys and going and hang out with my little girlfriend at the time. Like somebody was in the gym working. And
Right.
so when you hit that AAU scene, you start seeing the difference. Like I'm going up against OJ Mayo. I'm going up against like the people like that, and I'm looking at them like this just ain't fair. So you got to go back to your little city and go work harder just to make sure that when you go out there on the scene, you're able to compete.
What was the is that was your first taste of basketball, competitive basketball, AAU? When did you guys get started?
Well, I've been around competitive basketball for my whole life. Like I said, my dad, of course, with him coaching at SMU and TCU and University of Miami and all that, like I've been a part of recruiting trips. And so when I was going on those recruiting trips, like my pops would drop me off in the gym because he couldn't go in, and he'd be talking to whoever, and I'd be in, like I went to New Jersey. My dad dropped me off 2 o'clock in the morning. He wake me up. We going to the gym 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, in Jersey, that's all they do. So competitive basketball, people leaving the club, taking their clubbing clothes off, putting their hooping clothes on. And back in the day, everybody wore hooping shorts underneath everything.
Right.
So
Right.
they
I
coming
still
up
do
out of that.
sometimes. I still do.
Every once in a while, yeah, I might
No
do that.
cap. Yeah, no cap.
Hey, you gotta be able to go just in case. But
Young gang.
like just going in, hooping at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, like that's when I found the joy of the game. And like that's when I got my first real taste of competitiveness. Was I'm playing against 4 and 5 star recruits at 2-3 in the morning that just left the block because they thugging it, that just left the block or just left the club. And you seeing these people who are real life superstars that just didn't get the opportunity because they were thugging it on the block instead of being in school.
Talk about some of those recruiting trips that you got a chance to go on. Who did you get a chance to see your pops recruit that was big time?
Oh man, everybody from Quincy AC. Well, me and Quincy AC played high school basketball together at Horn. Um, I got a chance to see him go out, and Guillermo Diaz, who was one of the top Puerto Rican national players in the country when he was at University of Miami. I got a chance to see, of course, when my dad was here at SMU, I got a chance to see him play. Well, I got the chance to hoop against B-Hop. And if you're from Dallas, you know who B-Hop is.
Right.
I got a chance to really be a part of a lot of different things, but my craziest memory was when my dad had the Syracuse scout, and I got to see Carmelo Anthony live and in rare form before everybody knew Melo was the Melo. Like, everybody knew he was Melo in high school, but he ain't shine like he did when he went to Syracuse. And so I just got a chance to be a part of a lot of different talks and a lot of different recruiting conversations. And, I mean, just being around the game, you got to enjoy that portion of it.
Right.
How does your experience watching, coming up, playing competitive basketball, and then your dad being at such a high level as far as recruiting goes, how does that play into your recruiting and your mission as a coach?
It actually went opposite. I actually left the boys' side to go to the women's side to make my own name. Because if you know me in the city of Dallas, especially on the boys' side, they don't call me Anthony. They call me Junior. And so I've been around the boys' side so long here in Dallas. So now it's good to be back because I'm starting to really connect it all. But I wanted to pretty much create my own path. And so when you create your own path in this industry, you want to take the grind and you don't want to mess up the name. So that was my whole thing. My dad built such a great name for himself, being Q the recruiter. I didn't want to mess that up. So I took that as the challenge. So now instead of me challenging myself to be one of the best hoopers on the court, now I'm starting to challenge myself to be one of the best recruiters in the game. And so what I wanted to do is just make sure that when I put my foot forward, make sure I don't mess up the family name. And so that's what I tell my little brothers now. I'm like, don't mess up the family name. Pops gave us a good one. My name is good in the industry. Don't mess up the family name now.
Talk about a little bit of your high school career for us. Like, did you get a chance to start as a freshman or?
Oh, man. As a freshman, I actually started off in Miami. I was at Miami Killian High School. That was when my dad was coaching at the University of Miami. I was super, super fast, only had a right hand, and could shoot the jump shot. So I started on JV as a freshman, did a lot of good things there. Then when we moved from Florida to Texas, it's like a complete culture shock. I went from the best one on the floor general, the whole nine, to now I'm here in Texas. And you got to realize that Texas is a different style of basketball from everywhere else.
What kind of style of basketball is it? Would you say?
It's a grown man game here in Texas.
Okay.
You gotta be physical. You gotta be a good athlete, but at the same time, 6 foot, you a 6 foot guard. I mean, that's a dime a dozen here in Texas.
It is.
We breed guards like that everywhere. So you gotta have something else special to you. And man, I got here to Texas, went to Mesquite Horn, and I never forget, I played with Rowe, I played with James Graham, and my dad, it was funny when we met Quincy AC. Quincy was actually a football player to start off with his freshman year. And my dog got hit one time and he came in the locker room and was like, all right, I'm done with football. He was like,
Quincy AC from Texas A&M?
Yeah, well, from Baylor. He actually graduated from Baylor.
Baylor, okay, that's right, Baylor. Okay, I'm thinking AC Law. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then we had another cat named John Bowman who was 6'5", freak athlete, freak athlete. So we were good. When I got to Horn, of course they had such talent on our varsity. I was on the JV, so I'm just playing against them dudes every day. And Rowe went to UTA, and when I tell you he was one of the purest shooters I've ever seen in my life at 5'10", I learned from him, and I changed my game based off of what he was showing me. We did some recruiting. I recruited my homeboy James Graham to come on over to us from West Mesquite. I was like, bro, we already playing for the Texas Blue Chips, bro. Just come on over, come holler at me. Let's finish this thing up. So I ended up going from JV my sophomore year. I was on JV again my junior year because we were still super talented. And then rolling into my senior year, I was already slotted to be on varsity. Well, before I got that, Katrina, of course, happened. All my family moved here to Texas. After Katrina, my dad actually left SMU and went back home to Dillard, and I graduated from Slidell High School, where honestly I ended up scoring 690 points in a year. I was I think ranked 15 in scoring in Louisiana. When I was here in Texas, don't get it twisted, I was on JV, but I also left the state of Texas ranked number 91 in the state of Texas. I was ranked in the top 150 in the country. So, I mean, I was on JV, but I also played on the stage. I mean, I played for the Texas Blue Chips. We were honestly number 3 in the country in the Reebok circuit. When we switched over to Under Armour, we ended up going up. So I'm not even starting on my high school team, but I'm starting on one of the top AAU programs in the country.
How did that make you feel? Like,
how did you deal with that?
Yeah, I want to know, because you come from Miami. You say you're on JV, you getting a chance to play. You come to Texas with Quincy AC. You know you got talent. It's in the bloodline.
Your dad a coach.
Your dad's the coach, and you have to be on JV 10th and 11th grade. A lot of kids will just say, Pops, I'm out. How am I on JV once again?
Well, here's the thing. I had a chance to leave. I had a chance to go play with Darrell Arthur and them at SOC, because that's the head coach there at the time, was one of my dad's best friends. I had a chance to go to Spruce and play for Coach Love. But my mom was like, we ain't doing this. We ain't transferring. Right. So, I mean, once you take your ego out as a player and you realize that you got to grind, because you got to remember, in our times of hooping and times now hooping, it's different. Like, it's instant gratification a lot of times here in the newer generation. In our times, we didn't know that. We just knew you got to grind and you got to work a little bit harder. And so, I mean, there's no knock to the generational gap and the generational change. I mean, it's just a change of mindset. And so for me, it was, okay, high school is important, but my AAU season was more important to me than high school, because that was putting me on the stage. And so that was what gave me the opportunity to shine. I knew what I learned in the summer I was gonna take back with me to high school. And so I'm not gonna lie, I had really good guards over me. So I can't get mad and say, I'm better than you. No, it's when we go to practice, and I'm a stickler for defense. Like, I locks up. And when I had the people that was over us, when they were playing, we were playing against them, and they was getting off shots, and I was like, how you make that? Man, you gotta tip your hat and say, you better than me.
Yeah.
And as an ego, it's hard to have as an ego as a basketball player. But I don't know. Just grind it out and keep pushing.
I think that's what a lot of kids are missing these days, right? Because back in the day, if you transfer, you was kind of running. That's how it was looked at. And so, you didn't want to be running from the competition. You didn't want to be looked at as disloyal. Back then, I think you got recognized for, staying down and figuring out rather than transferring it and tucking your tail.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little bit different as well. The generation of parenting. We grew up in the tribal parenting situations, like your grandmother, your next door neighbor, all of them, they were your parents. And now your parents are your only sole parents. And so, and what we're teaching the kids is, I mean, it's all about instant gratification. What can you do instantly right now that's going to be the best version of you? You graduate from college, you're guaranteed to get a job making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. That's welcome to the real world. That's not always true. So, I mean, I just think it's just how everything changes in the world we live in. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just as a 35-year-old male now, I know you have to adapt to the times. And so that's why I try not to challenge when I challenge our players. I try not to hold them accountable to how I grew up and how I was.
And so on that one, like, what was the difference between AAU now versus back then? Because as you're on the circuit going gym to gym, circuit to circuit, what do you see is different from, you said Reebok, so you was going to Vegas, you was going to big time. That's when all that stuff was going on. And so as you've seen the growth of AAU from 1 or 2 teams, 3 teams in the city to 1,000 teams in the city, what do you think is, pros and cons to that?
Well, that's a loaded question, I have to say, whoever asked that. Because, I mean, it does start with that. It starts with the amount of AAU teams, but the biggest difference is the cameras everywhere. When we were playing in AAU, it was your memories was your memories. Like,
you're right.
I remember going in, I'm playing against Kevin Love, Ronaldo, Sidney, and what's my
bro, you talking about Friends of Who?
Yeah, like when you
United Salad. You talking about United Salad in Oregon?
Yes. So you playing against them, and your only memories are the memories that you have when you out there. So like there is no camera, there's no footage. And I think that's the difference. Like everywhere there's footage. Like you even right after a game, there's highlights, there's cameras everywhere. So immediate uploads.
Kids know how to get to it instantly. Like they know where to find it.
Exactly. Quickly. And I do think, don't get me twisted, I think a lot of people are gonna hate this. A lot of older coaches are gonna hate this. And I'm gonna tell you why. Everybody fears, they talk about, well, so many different AAU teams, so many different this, so many different that. Like on the girls' side, you have just in the city of Dallas. And I don't want to forget anybody, so please forgive me now. I'm saying that you have Texas U, Pro Skills, Sci-Fair, you have Texas United, like you have Team Lex, you have that's just off the top of my head. That's 6 different teams that are just situated right here that are all in the top in the country. And so with they're having so many different teams, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because one, it's kind of pulling the talent here and there, but at the same time, everybody want to see when Pro Skills play Sci-Fair. Everybody want to see when Team Lex plays against Pro Skills. I'm like, guys, we ain't got to leave the city to see that.
Yeah.
So, like for me, it started off as a bad thing, but the amount of talent that Texas has and the Dallas Metroplex has now, it's worth it because we need it.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all literally right here in the Metroplex. It's a lot of talent, a lot of good talent in the Metroplex. So.
Oh yeah, and don't get it twisted. Like those are my people. Like I talked to Earl Allen from Sci-Fair 2 days ago. I just got off the phone with Taylor that's at Pro Skills. Like I just talked to Rich with Texas U 3 days ago. So like those are all my people, and just seeing their evolution and what they're trying to do. I mean, I'm proud of the growth, and I'm happy to see the way that honestly Texas basketball is going, especially in the city of Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, basketball in Texas, it doesn't have the name that the football has, and a lot of people think that the basketball talent isn't that good. You spoke early when you came here to the DFW that it was grown man basketball, and I like to think when I came from Memphis to the DFW is everyone gets a chance to play their true position because you have 6'8" guys walking around, 6'10" guys walking around. So I'm 6'2", so you're not gonna play in the paint out here in the DFW. You're gonna be a guard. You're gonna be a shooting guard. So that's one thing I do enjoy about Texas, that you get a chance to play your true position. You're gonna be around other guys that's skilled and they understand the game and they pass the ball. Like it's not really an eye game in Texas. It's more of a I'm gonna spread the wealth game, and that's what I like about the game as well out here in the DFW too.
Of course, and you want to go see a good game, you could any Friday night basketball. That's why I'm glad we changed our schedule this year. It's so much good basketball on a Friday night. Like I will be at some men's games this year. Like I told you, my people is Coach Love at Spruce. Like I love the people at Kimball. Like that's my people too. Like
Right.
I'm gonna be at some of these men's basketball games. I ain't gonna be in no SMU clothes because I don't want people to think I'm illegal recruiting. But I'm gonna be there as a fan. So my high school coach, give me some gear. I'm gonna walk around in y'all stuff when I come to y'all gyms. I promise you.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. So as you started, what made you like get into college basketball? Because you got your ties with your coaching, people know you around the city. Obviously, you can coach high school and have your own program, easily. They give you the keys easily. Reference is crazy. And so why girls college basketball?
Well, honestly, I started off. Shout out to Coach Charles Keeley. I played for him. I played for Keeley at Cedar Valley, and then I'll never forget. My dad called me. He called my dad to help him get the Paul Quinn job. Keeley called me and was like, "Hey, bro, come play for me." I was like, "Keeley, I'm done." I was like, "I'm done hooping. If I'm hooping, I'm gonna go overseas, but I think I'm just gonna hang it up." He called me back 10 minutes later. Was like, "Bro, come coach with me. Come be my associate head coach." I was like, "Bro, stop playing. I'm 22 years old. I'm not finna come coach these kids." He convinced me. The next day, I was on a flight. So I ended up at Paul Quinn, where, of course, I met some great people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Was there, coached there for a year. Hated to leave, y'all, but I just needed to move on to a different endeavor to really push myself and challenge myself because I started getting comfortable. Because I loved the kids. I loved all the players that was at the Quinn. The people were great, but I needed something to get me out of my comfort zone. And so I went the JUCO route. I'm not gonna tell you, my first JUCO job, I was making $7,000. I barely could afford to pay my car note. The Quinn took care of me, but when I went to that JUCO at Lamar State Port Arthur, $7,000. I'll tell this story real quick, and now it'll be how the importance of how you should treat people. I was opening up a gym just to make some extra money on the side because I wasn't making none, clearly. Meet a guy named Larry Tidwell. Larry Tidwell's wife forgets her jacket in the gym at the WBI tournament that we were hosting for them because their main gym at Lamar was being used by the president. Her wife leaves her jacket with her house keys and car keys. I go get it. I tell her, "Listen, this side of Port Arthur ain't the safest. You stay on the other side. I'm going to go get your jacket and stuff." I got her jacket, locked everything up, bought her jacket to her, got her number, told her, "Hey, text me when you get home." She was like, she didn't text me at first, so I called her. I was like, "Hey, did you make it home safely?" She's like, "Yes, sir, I did, blah, blah, thank you." The next day, Larry Tidwell calls me. "Hey, son, I appreciate what you did for my wife. You may not know this, but one of these days I'm gonna hire you." I was like, "Man, whatever." People say that all the time. You've heard that all the time.
Right.
2 months later, he gives me a call. "I got a job for you working at University of Texas Pan Am at the time that later got transferred to UTRGV." It's like, "I want you to come be my recruiting, my video guy." So I was like, "Okay, video guy, never did it before." I went up there. Well, I was there for 5 years, worked my way from video all the way up to recruiting coordinator, which was his associate head at the time. And left there, went to Sam Houston, spent the year at Sam Houston, got a call from Kevin Baker at UTEP, went out to El Paso for 3 years, was working with him out there, and now I'm here in the city of Dallas, back in the big city life.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Starting from the video room all the way up to assistant coaching.
Coordinator.
Yeah,
Now
coordinator.
Recruiting coordinator.
Starting from Paul Quinn, man. Starting from Paul Quinn. And we didn't know you was 22. I didn't know you was 22 at the Quinn. So
yeah, I was a baby when I was with y'all boys, and I'm thankful that y'all were really patient with me because there was some practices I know y'all were like, "Man, what is this dude doing?" Like I was young and still trying to learn my way, and y'all boys took care of me.
Nah, Coach Keely allowed me to come along and be on the coaching staff too. So I mean, I was just the guy doing the stats, making sure people get in the game, get out the game with the system that we were running. So Coach Keely, like you said, Coach Keely did look out for us. So he allowed us to do our thing. So talk about a little bit of the culture change at SMU that you guys are trying to do.
I mean, as far as the culture change, Coach Toya Wilson already kind of had a foundation when she got here from year number one. The biggest thing that she wanted to do was just make the city known again. She wanted to be able to be winners again. She took over a program that had won 4 games the year before, and she wanted to really showcase what the city of Dallas was all about. And I mean, she was at Michigan for 6 years, and before then, she was at Baylor. So she only knows winning. And so coming here to SMU, she wanted to bring that winning tradition here. And they did an amazing job of recruiting before I got here. I ain't gonna lie, 2 of the players that they had here before I got here was responsible for beating me when I was at UTEP for a couple years between Jazz and Sydney Wiggins. But they just did an amazing job of recruiting. And then last year for us, it was all about the transition. Okay, the first year they were here, they beat TCU. Last year, our goal was to beat 2 Power 5 schools. We fell a little short. We beat Cal at Cal, and we lost to Baylor by 1 at Baylor last year. So the biggest thing that we were trying to do is just string together what they started and transition it to where it's becoming. We want to make sure that we make it well known that we want to be here. So the first thing you got to do is you got to win. And so when you bring the winning culture out, people will come watch games. And we play an exciting style of play. We get up and down. We run our motion ball screen offense. We're going to press a lot this year. We're going to turn people over. We're going to get in the passing lane. So, I mean, that's the Dallas way right there. You think of Dallas, you think of getting in people's shorts, turning people over, like the exciting style of basketball. I mean, that's the exciting style of basketball y'all like to play, style of basketball I like to play. So, I mean, the culture piece, you just want to make sure it's we over me. And just honestly, what she is I've just been blessed to be a part of a program that my head coach empowers everybody top to bottom, from coaches to players, even the athletic trainers and to support staff. She empowers everybody that she's around.
Is that one of your guys' selling points on your recruiting trips? Like when you go to recruit and you sit down in somebody's living room and you're talking to the mom and the dad, is that one of your biggest sales on SMU? Is that we're changing the culture and they can be part of a culture change?
Well, not just that. I mean, our biggest sell is we got to get you here. Once you see who we are, we don't have to sell the culture change and us just being us, because we all know you can't fake the funk.
Right.
Like, Texas people. I'm from Louisiana, but Texas people are different too. Y'all can tell when somebody trying to fake it and be something that they ain't. So, I mean, we just try to get as many people on campus as we can to show them who we are personality-wise. And I mean, now we're starting to be able to touch different avenues of players. Of course, I can't say that right now on the live stream, but we're able to, with us transferring to the ACC, we're able to get our hands on some players and be a part of something with kids that we normally weren't able to touch. And so now they're seeing our personalities and trying to figure out who we are. And they like, wait, y'all were good people, and y'all located in the city of Dallas.
Right.
And y'all are in a good conference.
Right.
We need to be a part of this. And so that's what we're trying to do to convince people to be a part of who we are.
Talk about is the gear a part of the selling point?
The gear?
Yeah, like being a part of Nike. Do you think the fact that you guys are part of Nike is a good selling point to get? Like, is it like, okay, yeah, you guys are good people too, and I like what you guys are bringing to the table, but is the logo, it's the Nike check, is the Under Armour, does that play a part? Have you someone say, if you guys not Nike, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be a part of it.
Hey, man,
it gotta be, because I went to the football game. Everybody had on the white and blue threes. I said, damn, they gotta be getting these.
Oh, just wait. I mean, we just got our team some team dunks, and they customized them, and
I'm sorry.
You ain't gonna
I'm
get me in trouble,
signing.
man.
I'm
But I'm just
sorry.
gonna say,
I'm signing.
like Drake said, checks over stripes. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna say
that
that.
way.
Like,
Claim it.
I'm not gonna throw no shade to any other shoe brand or anything else like that, because honestly, you could be Nike today, Under Armour tomorrow, Adidas the next day.
Right.
But I mean, of course, these kids love Nike. I mean, think about it. Everybody wants to play on what shoe circuit? The Nike shoe circuit.
Right.
Everybody you see rocking around different things. What do you see them rocking? You see them rocking J's. You see them rocking Nikes. You see them rocking the Dunks. You see them rocking the Lows. So,
True.
I mean, of course, for that value of it all, I mean, the kids love that. But I mean, have I heard a kid just say, "Oh, we're not going to choose y'all because y'all are Nike"? No. But what I have heard a kid say is, "What that stipend look like?" So I think that's more of the thing than it is the shoe style now is the stipends, the NILs, and really the collectives. Like, because I mean that's the transition of the game right now, and unfortunately it is what it is. But we used to, when we was in college, we were struggling to eat.
Right.
So now you got unlimited meals for the kids. We couldn't wait to go on the road so we can get per diem.
Right.
Now that per diem is second to none because they get cost of attendance. So I mean, I'm happy to see that the kids are making ways and are getting paid in different ways now. But I just don't want the game to lose the root, the amateurism of it all. I don't want us to turn into the overseas game.
Talk about that a little bit, Double A, because we talk about this all the time. The NILs, the money. Me personally, I feel like it's good and it's bad a little bit. Like, it has pros and cons, of course.
Yeah.
I think it should be set to a limit on how much they can get, or maybe after they graduate, they can get more.
Can I ask the question? Why? What is America known for? We are a what kind of society? We are a capitalistic society, right?
Right.
So my value and your value might be different.
True.
Your name might be more than my name. What I don't believe in is giving everybody the same check across the board. That's what I don't believe.
That's what I'm gonna say. It should be tiers.
Yes.
It should be tiers. This what I'm saying.
I'll tell you this. I don't believe that player A, who has never took a snap, a shot, a rebound in a game, should be worth whatever. Not until you show that you can do it in college. Unless your name is LeBron James or somebody like that, like I believe then your monetary value coming into college is different. But if you don't have a top tier name, I believe you should have to work for what your income is going to be.
Right.
But I mean, it's different. It's like you said, it should be different tiers in it, based off of what kind of player you are projected to be when you come into the institution. But just remember this, and I hate to tell these kids this, but it's gonna come down the pipe. If you are getting paid to do something, it's only a matter of time before coaches have the ability to hire and fire you based off of that. Because if I'm paying you to do this and be this person, it's only a matter of time before coaches can say, well, you're not doing that, so I should be able to pull that money and give it to Susie or Joe or whoever else it goes to. So just be careful and don't abuse the system, because everything has a pendulum. Because remember, back in the day, the coaches had all the power.
Right.
Now the players are having all the power. And so you might want to be careful what you're doing, because it's going to balance back out.
And so with the NIL in play in social media, does that affect what type of player you guys recruit?
It does, because I mean, social media runs the world right now. I told my homeboy, he has a 13-year-old daughter. I said, put her on social media. He's like, I don't want her to be a part of all of this. I was like, put her on social media. He's like, why? I said, as a 13-year-old, every softball game, every volleyball game she goes to, she needs to meet 30 people and add them on her social media. He's like, why? I said, by the time she get in high school, she'll have over 20,000 followers. That's what these companies, that's what these people are looking for, as well as the talent, especially on women's basketball. Men's is a little different. Women's
Right.
side, it's all about how many followers, how many likes, how much interaction you have. That's the kind of deals you get. So if you got a social media following of 20, 30, 40,000 people, you're going to have a chance to be a brand ambassador for Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, whoever. As well as if your hair look good, you'll have a chance to go do whatever kind of hair gel. You use a certain type of toothbrush. If you show that thing on social media, tag the company in it, you'll have a chance to brand that, use that brand. And
So is that better for you, or is that better for the player, or is it like a win-win situation? Do you get what I'm saying? So like if I have Susie Q with 10,000 followers and I have Jennifer with 30,000 followers, but Susie Q is better, but she only has 10,000 followers, does that mean I'm going to choose the other girl because she has 30,000 and she's not as good?
No, I'm not choosing a kid based off of social media followers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I gotta get talent. I mean, it's all about wins and losses. That NIL, all that stuff sounds good, but what gets you NIL deals is wins and losses. So if you out there winning games, especially at a school like SMU, you're gonna be put in the market just because you're in Dallas. So you might come into the school with 10,000 followers. You might play a game in Skyline, SOC, you name whatever high school is there. All their kids follow you.
True.
So all their kids start following you. Then they have their friends follow you. Next thing you know, you drop 20 in a game. You got right there 1,000 followers just based off of dropping 20 in a game. What that does to our alum boosters, all the rest of that stuff, is that shows your marketability value. And so like NIL, I hate talking about it because it's a very complicated like formula.
It is.
But I mean, we just want our kids to be in the best possible situation for themselves. And really, honestly, we use a different types of things. Our kids, if they get NIL, they get NIL. But we have here what's called the collective. And I think that's what a lot of schools are starting to go to, is the collective portion of it all, rather than just NIL deals.
What is a collective before we move forward? If you can expound on that a little bit.
The collective is basically a bunch of your boosters putting money into like a fund, and you have access to that depending on what you guys are doing. Like you might go stuff book bags and make $400 or $500 for stuffing book bags for 2-3 hours. I'm just using that as an example. I honestly don't think that that's one opportunity that they had. So don't quote me and say, well, Anthony said their girls did this and they got this, because that's not true. I'm just using that kind of as an example. Like you girls be like, okay, we got a huge social media following. Okay, I need all y'all to go through and post, go vote. Don't tell them who to vote for, but just post, go vote. And they do that, they'll have opportunity to make money off of that as well.
It sounds like an escrow. You guys can pull out of that for doing certain activities on behalf of the school. On behalf of the school.
Yes.
Understood. That's dope. That's dope. And that's kind of like what you're talking about, Ernest. Kind of like an even playing field for everyone.
Yeah.
Kind of like the bias above the other, but like, yeah.
It is needed because if for guys egos are different than girls, though, of course. Oh. But if I'm a 18-year-old 5-star walking to Georgetown University and I'm making
1.5 mil.
1.5.
That's what that's gonna give you. 1.5 mil.
1.5 mil as an 18-year-old. I'm feeling a certain type of way. Maybe I might not show up to practice today because I'm not coming to practice. I'm not saying that in general, but you might not want to come to practice. I got an M. What I'm going to practice for? Like your ego kick in. That's my only thing about the money thing is like their ego. You get a chance to see who they really are once you hand them this check.
Yeah, but we also got to teach them with great power comes great responsibility. And that's the one thing I like about SMU is we have financial literacy for our kids.
Oh, okay.
You can't get like you don't even get your stipend cut until you do financial literacy classes here.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, I love what we're doing as far as
that's amazing.
Yes, between that and between our Life After Ball program here, I
Life
love
After
what we
Ball
do.
program.
Hmm.
What's that about?
Well, we give our kids internship opportunities coming in as freshmen. So
Okay.
you can come in as a freshman, you can intern with Fortune 500 companies here in the city of Dallas that are
Wow.
SMU alums and get a
Wow.
chance to really learn if that's what you want to do. Like, you want to be a real estate agent? Well, let me go do this internship. Do I really want to be an insurance agent or real estate agent after going do an internship? And so it
Firsthand.
gives our oh yeah, it gives our kids opportunities to set themselves up for their life.
Go ahead, Sebastian.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. And so, what type of player are you guys? What type of player do you guys go for as far as women basketball goes? When you walk
A,
into a gym, what are you looking
a
for?
bucket. Can you get a
Hey, for real, right?
What about their
I
attitude?
mean, it kind of just varies, honestly. Because right now we're in a different phase.
There you go.
With us transitioning leagues. So right now we're gonna try to go heavy transfer this year, just because we need immediate impact players.
Right.
That transfer
Like I
portal.
said, yeah, I mean, nobody want to lose going to a new league. I'm
Right.
sorry. That's just the ego, not the ego, but the competitor in you. But other than that, I mean, we just want kids that like to work. We like kids that are hungry, kids that like to grind. I don't want to track down a kid and ask them, did they get their shots up today? I
Right,
want you to be in the gym. Like, we don't like empty gyms. We got our own practice facility.
right.
Like, I want kids that are gonna hustle, grind, and that are gonna be in there doing the work. Because I mean, we all got one common goal to win a championship here in the American, and then possibly try to win a championship in the ACC. I mean, that's
Hmm.
what we're working for. Nobody wants to finish last.
Hmm.
So, in order to do that, now you got to go get a different caliber of kids. You got to go get kids that like to compete. And if they don't like to compete, then that's not what you need. You need a balance of both. Can you do the education? Because education is tough here at SMU, as
Sure.
well as can you be a great basketball player? And you got to be a good teammate too, because I've learned lessons in my coaching career. I've had great players that were terrible teammates, and they will get you fired. You got to have kids that are great teammates as well as great players.
Damn.
You said a mouthful right there, Double, because a lot of people just they don't know what it takes to get those scholarships. And I tell people it's a little bit of both. Like the school that you at matters.
Mm-hmm.
They have a solid program. Uh, then you getting a chance to get groomed to see what it's like to get recruited. Maybe you'll work hard to get that field. And so I tell people all the time, it matters about the school you go to. It matters about those grades for sure. And like you said, the league that you're playing in, as far as you being able to get seen. Uh, and I'm also telling people that coaches are not really recruiting a lot of high school players. And my players last year didn't seem to understand it with the portal going on and transfer and stuff like that. Like a lot of kids are not getting recruited. I know a guy that was really good in high school, run up for Mr. Tennessee, end up going to NAIA. So I mean,
And
it's
that
just
never used to happen back in the day.
yeah, you're gonna go to the local state school. You might go to, like, for instance, Tennessee. You might go to UT Chat, UT
Right,
Martin, Middle
right,
Tennessee State, but to
right.
go to a NAIA school lets you know that the transfer portal is real, and got older guys are going places to make sure that they get a chance to play, get their numbers up. That's all they care about now. I'm gonna get my numbers up and get a chance to go overseas per se. So
Well, that's going to change. And I'll tell you why it's going to change.
okay.
Um, the COVID year,
Mm-hmm.
all of that's about to slow down because you got an influx of fifth year kids and 6 year kids that were all just sitting around. So high school kids are going to become back popular again. JUCO kids are going to become back popular again. But I mean, it's kind of like the coaches. I mean, it's kind of like the players. Coaches are trying to win immediately because a lot of these coaches' jobs are dependent on it. And so, I mean, that's why I said like the quick fixes will end, and you'll start seeing, because I've had this conversation with a whole bunch of college coaches recently. That's why you have more and more college coaches picking up high school kids, and then they go to the portal to get fillers. So, like, if I know we have a team full of slashers on my team, and I recruited a kid out of high school that was a slasher, 6'1", just gets up and down the floor, I know when I hit the portal and the portal comes around, I know I need a shooter. So your portal will start being a situational type of player recruiting portal. And so you just give it another year and it'll balance out, because look, if you look at the numbers, the first year was like 40% of kids that didn't get a home. Well, last year was, I mean, actually it was like, yeah, it was like 47 last year percent of kids that did not get a home or transferred down. So don't have all high school kids, don't give up. It's gonna balance itself back out. But at the same time, you are competing against other 4-year kids at different schools, whether it be junior college or at another university that ain't happy. And also, if you're at a 4-year school and you playing 2 minutes a game and you ain't at a Power 5, you might want to debate on if you really want to hit the portal or not.
Right. Because
Like
there's some
that,
coaches that say, if you ain't gonna cut it there, what makes you think you gonna cut it here?
yeah, like I have kids that I see in the portal and I'm calling them and I'm like, I know you from the first time when I recruited you out of high school.
Right.
Walk back in that office and tell your coach you made a mistake, because it's going to be hard. You don't have no film. You don't have no film. You haven't proven yourself at the Division I level, Division II level, Division III level, whatever it may be. So you got to make smart decisions. I do believe in kids leaving if they are being mistreated, though. If you are just being physically or mentally mistreated, that is a reason to leave at any point in time.
So you're giving the kids the game as you're scrolling through the portal and you're seeing kids that you've recruited in the past. And Triple, you there?
Is the phone prizes? There you go.
You got to charge that junk.
Sorry, no. I had to deny that call. Sorry, that was my wife.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's
Damn, you married?
yes.
Okay, I didn't know
2
that.
years
Wouldn't
now.
okay. How was that? I mean, not to veer off, but I mean, in our
Hold
culture.
on.
Hold
We can
on.
go back
In
to
our
that.
culture, man, you know what I'm saying? Cats ain't getting married, and so how did you decide to make that decision? Because I ain't married. I'm out here doing me. So is Ernest, and so as the two men that aren't married, you know what I'm saying? How did you decide to make that decision? And was it beneficial to you moving on to coaching? Because as black men, I do want to kind of touch on that though, as far as marriage goes.
The marriage thing isn't hard. You just got to find somebody that balances you and somebody that is good for you. I see so many people who marry somebody and they arguing with you before you get married. They're yelling at you before you get married. How you think it's going to be after you get married? It's going to be the same thing, except for she got a little bit more power because she got your name and the laws attached to it.
Right.
So you just got to find you somebody that balances you off and somebody that kind of complements you and the things that you got going on, as well as somebody that you can really see yourself building something with. I see people falling in love with lustful situations and people really trying to turn something into something else because you like them now. What you like now, what you're going to like 10 years from now is something completely different.
Right.
So the woman that you think you love now, like that baddie, that this, that you think you love now, it's going to be different. Like the mindset is going to be different. Like what I loved when I was at Paul Quinn was I like ratchet women. And then as I got older, I'm like, no, I need something with some sophistication to it. I need somebody I can sit down and have a conversation with and not, you know what I'm saying? Not want to jump off a cliff. Like,
yeah, for sure.
So I got to have
somebody to elevate you.
Well, especially in my job, like my significant other reflects me. So if I'm out here mingling with Fortune 500 company people and my wife can't hold a conversation, what does that say about me?
True. And so having that stable foundation allowed you to become a better coach.
Well, it allows me to just be free. Now I can let her work the wives and work her side of the crowd, and I can go work the husbands and do what I have to do. Not have to worry about my wife saying something that might be crazy or out of line or out of pocket, and then I gotta play damage control on my image. So,
and it might look better too because, like you say, you recruit girls, so it just look better. It's a better looking image because it doesn't look like however you want to dress it up. I'm not gonna go too deep on it.
But single black male does not sound good when you walk into people's houses and you recruiting their daughters.
That's why you said what I wanted to say. There you go.
Yeah. Single black male that's doing him does not sound good as you walking into people's houses. Married black male sounds a lot better. Like, oh, this is Anthony. Yeah, I got my wife is such and such, and I mean, it gives people a sense of comfort. Like they know that my intentions aren't bad when it comes to their daughter.
Right. You can't walk in there with the slim fit suit on. You got the Beijing popping, Sachi popping, beads,
gold chain,
gold chain, gold earring. Like, hey, how you doing?
No, they gonna look at you like, who are you? Like that was my first story as a recruiter. Like I'm 25 on the women's side. I remember recruiting a kid. I'm texting her every day because she was ranked in the country and ranked in the state of Texas. And I'm just talking to her all the time. And I get to her house to do an in-house visit. Her mom was like, okay, let's just get this out the way now. It's me and my head coach. She was like, you talk to my daughter a lot. I was like, yes, I do. She's like, what are your intentions? I was like, what? I was like, to coach her. I was like, I just want to coach her. I was like, she seems like a great person, comes from a great household, great stock. Her mom was like, okay, now that we got that out the way, now we can have the rest of the official visit.
I can imagine this tough though. I ain't gonna lie, it probably is tough.
Because the whole time she thinking you creeping, or you trying to, you know what I'm saying, do the okie doke until she talks to you.
She just want to know. And I mean, come on, they're parents.
Right.
They just want to know that their kids are taken care of.
Yeah, that's right. But no, you can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just know there was a stigma there, but you know what I'm saying? And for you to have a story like that, that just confirms what I was thinking about. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Oh, yeah, definitely is. But no, I'm like I said, not to fast forward back, but yeah, I definitely want to give the kids the game. I mean, every kid that I meet, every player that comes on an unofficial visit on campus, I tell them all the same thing. Use this as a resource. I'm a recruiting coordinator at a mid-major that's now about to be a Power 5. And I'm taking the time to give you the information that a lot of people don't give to people. I was like, I want as many people to leave college and not have debt. Myself, I left college $77,000 in the hole. So as I talk to these young people, I try to make sure that I give them the knowledge that way they don't make the mistakes that I made, as well as they use the ball that's in their hand as an avenue to get a free education to better themselves in life, because all these employers are looking for a 4-year degree minimum.
Really? Yeah.
Like, keyword what I said, minimum.
Right.
Some of them are looking for the degree and the master's now.
Do you have to have a master's to be an assistant coach?
It depends on the university and how long you've been doing it. Some people will allow you to get away with just having a bachelor's. But everywhere that I've went, all the schools I've been to, they recommend you have a master's as well. And I mean, they don't care what it's in. They just want you to have one because it looks good with their institution that they have another member that has a master's degree that's on campus.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, with you on the forefront of the game, man, where do you see the game going?
Ooh, in what way? Like as far as playing style wise, or as far as like just overview of like college wise?
women's basketball, college women's basketball. I know LSU kind of highlighted women's basketball this year. I know NIL is going big. Of course, we're in the city of Dallas. The Dallas Wings just hosted the Las Vegas Aces on this Western Conference finals for women's basketball. So, where do you kind of see the women's basketball game going, and how does SMU kind of incorporate itself into that?
The women's game itself is growing, man. This is an exciting time to be a women's basketball coach. The best thing that happened to women's basketball was the men's Final Four had a whole bunch of teams that nobody really knew who they was.
Mm-hmm.
It put women's basketball in the forefront and in the circle. We had more people watching women's basketball this year than they had watching men's basketball this year.
Really?
Yes.
I can see that.
The fact that it was in where? The city.
Yeah. So, yeah. Facts.
But I think the game is growing to amazing leaps, but I think we got to keep up with the game as the women's basketball coaches and general managers of the WNBA teams. We need more WNBA teams. There's no reason why Alexis Morris, who was one of the top players in the country last year, got cut because there just wasn't enough slots. I think we need more WNBA slots. I think we need a couple more WNBA teams. I think right now the game is growing in such a capacity for women's basketball, and it's because more and more people are paying attention to it. I mean, the game has always been competitive. It's always been good. We just ain't have enough people watching it. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I tell my kids, I'm like, you want the game to be good, right? You want this NIL money, right? Have your friends name 5 different WNBA players you know. When's the last time you watched a WNBA game? We need more people watching games. We need more people going to the WNBA games. Right. And we need more people watching the NCAA games. You do that, that's how you get your revenue up. That's what kind of slingshots the women's game into what you want it to become. Because the worst thing that could have happened was this right here. From what people perceive as a white girl. And then you have this right here from what people perceive as a black girl. And think about it. That was Larry and Magic.
Easily.
And look at what the game became of the NBA became. Now what we need is our version of Jordan to come about to help slingshot the game and take it to another level.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, most definitely. You said something right there. Because if you look at South Carolina, that kind of popped out of their women's team, kind of popped out of nowhere a little bit. If you just want to be real, like,
oh no, South Carolina, Don been doing this for a while.
No, not this year. But I'm just saying, like, when she first got her first ones, her first couple, this is when they kind of put guy on the rise a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm gonna tell you this. Don is an OG. I knew Don was gonna be a superstar when she got in the game. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you who to watch out for on the rise. My boss, Toyelle Wilson. That's at Ole Miss. Like, you got so many powerful Black female head coaches that are in the game. Even the lady that was at Memphis last year, that's at Cincinnati now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so many powerful Black women. Delicia, that's at Old Dominion. Like, it's so many powerful Black women. Sharika, that's at UTA. Like, I can keep shouting these powerful Black women out that have all done things to pave the ground and pave the way. I mean, even my former boss, Raven, that's at Sam Houston State. Like, they are building the groundwork and the foundation that they're laying, and the fact that they're sticking together. I'm enjoying the direction of the women's basketball game.
That's good. We like to hear that. We like to hear that the game is being changed, and we getting a chance to impact it. We getting a chance to be part of it. Whether it's just having a podcast talking about it, or like you said, being a coach, getting a chance to recruit and reach out to other people. So we're enjoying the game as it grows as well too.
And I challenge you guys. I mean, y'all challenged me to come on the show tonight. I challenge you guys. Go out and just watch a high school game. Have your audience members go out and watch. I mean, go I can't say any schools, but
Okay.
go out and watch some of these high school teams. I mean, it's some wonderful basketball going on right now. And
We
I
will.
tell you what else, the city of Dallas actually has about 10 girls right now that are in top 100 in the country
Wow.
that people need to look at. You need to look out for.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna text you. We're gonna get the. We're gonna get the.
I'll hit you with the side comment.
Yeah, we can just go. Like you said, you're gonna go. Just you just send us a text message in the group, and we'll pull up and check him out and check her out and just see what's going on. Like, because we want to see it too. Like, we don't just want to highlight just the guys, but we want to highlight women too. And it's funny that you're at SMU, but the podcast before last, we had a guy. His mom actually played at SMU.
Yeah, we sure did. Yep.
In the
Sure did.
80s.
I need y'all to connect us because I need to get her back on campus.
She does. Yep. 110%.
You guys definitely need her back on campus. So
We showed to speak on a lot of stuff. 110%. Yeah.
Yeah, I need that plug. I need to get her back on campus so we can show her what it started off at and show her where it's at now. Because I mean, we had a renovation going on in our offices, and we'll talk about how much it was, but we got exciting. It's exciting times going on right now. I mean, our locker room is amazing. We have Power 5 facilities, and so anytime we can get some of those alums back, we definitely want to get them back and host them.
We're definitely gonna have to come on campus and check it out and get a tour for ourselves as well. And we're gonna be at some games this year too. So
hey man, don't tell me we got them. Just tell me when. Let me know when and just pull up on me. You say, and I'm in Dallas. I'm like, where you at? I'm here. So come on in. Like,
we gonna be there.
Oh yeah, we have our practices. We practice on Saturdays. So you ain't doing nothing on Saturday. Roll through. I mean, you just let me know whenever you want to come on campus. And I mean, my door is always open for both of y'all.
That's love.
We appreciate that.
What's next for SMU before we get out of here, man? Tell us what's next for SMU when you guys get started, when y'all got tryouts, what's the open tryouts for the walk-ons, who you excited to see this year, who's y'all main player?
Okay, let me start with what's next. We just had our first official practice on last Monday. That first one is the rough one, but
yeah. Y'all back to it. That's dope, bro. That's dope. Handing all the practice gear, locker room open.
Of course. And then you got to do the announcements. You got to drop the gear drop and everything else like that.
Yeah. The shoes, yes, sir.
Yes, but November 1st is our first exhibition game.
Okay.
November 6th we have our first game, first official home game.
Wow.
I'll make sure I send out emails, flyers. I mean, I'm gonna invite the whole city of Dallas like I did last year.
We support the Gurus of the game. We support. We on top of that. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about. I'm inviting all high schools, all middle schools, all elementary schools. I'm about to turn this thing back about. But I think showcase wise, I think we got some really great players. We have a highlight freshman, one of returning freshmen, all freshman teams, Ella Brow, who's our Australian point guard. I think we got a sleeper that should have been on all second team or at least all first team, all conference, and Shantae Embry coming from Oklahoma. Of course, my fellow Louisianan who transferred from us from Houston, she gave us buckets when we played them, so we had to go get her,
Right.
But Tierra Young, I think she's going to be somebody that's going to come in and make an impact. And then, of course, between Denavia and Tamia, I think Tamia, who's also a local Dallas kid, and Denavia, who's a local Dallas kid as well. I think they got a chance to come in and make really good impacts for us this year as well. So I think it's going to be an exciting style of play. Always want to have everybody we can out. As far as the tryouts this year, we didn't do any, just because of how everything's going on. That this transition, it's been bam, 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 and we like, wait a minute. Everything happened like literally. I was driving to Oklahoma, and I got a call saying y'all are in the ACC now, and so I'm in the middle of the driving trip, and I'm like, oh, well, this changes things.
Right.
So,
hold on, though. So, do you still recruit the kids that you've been recruiting now that you change conferences?
That kind of changes your evaluation of what you need. Because at first you were shooting for mid-major kids, kids that you knew could make an impact in your league immediately.
Mhm.
And now you're shooting for a higher caliber kid. So now I go from recruiting a kid that was probably number 150 in the state of Texas, anywhere from anywhere from 100 to 90 in the state of Texas. Now you're recruiting anywhere from 1 to 50 in the United States. So like that's how it kind of changes your caliber of kid you have to recruit in order to be able to compete immediately.
Okay. This what I wanted to know.
Y'all didn't put me on the spot, man.
No, I don't want to try to put you on the spot, but I had to turn back around. You probably didn't make it.
What did it say? Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't rock with you. We going.
I set you up for that one.
Sorry.
The number you have down has been disconnected.
I might can connect you there. Somebody else might need you though. So, but with that being said though, like with you guys moving to that bigger conference, I know your phone's gonna be ringing a whole lot more now because now the eyes are on you guys as far as being in the Metroplex. Like SMU, you guys got the red, blue, and white. You guys got the colors that everybody like to wear. So I mean, all eyes are really on you guys now to turn the program around and really make some noises. So I'm excited.
Well, the good thing is we had a ground foundation that's pretty good. We won 17 and 16. We've beaten some P5s already. So I mean, the thing is now you got to win, and you got to win those recruiting battles. So if y'all see me with bags underneath my eyes, don't worry. I'm gonna be okay. I'm just waiting on that summertime shutdown period where I can get me some sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, Double A, man, we sincerely appreciate you, man, for tapping in with us, bro. We know you're a busy man right before the season and all that. And so, man, we don't take this time for granted, bro. We appreciate the gems that you dropped on us and the insight that you gave us, man, to this thing called recruitment, man, especially on that Division I AAC level, man. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. It's big time.
No, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate the platform. And once again, just being able to give the story to somebody else. I mean, I hope something in what I said can hit home for somebody, whether it be a coach that's aspiring or a young person that's aspiring to be a Division I basketball player, Division II basketball player, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's fast, bro. Man, we got to tap in with you in the spring after the season. You know what I'm saying? See how it went. You know what I mean? See what you got for the recruiting for your recruiting trail for the summer, man. We got to circle back with you.
Definitely. Come on, man. Anytime.
We appreciate you, Double A, man. You enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, for sure, man. Double A, salute to you, my boy. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, King. And we appreciate y'all. This is Gurus of the Game. And to the next one, man, we signing out, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yes, sir.